Hey guys, and welcome to a new news episode. Today is going to be a short one, but there's a couple of things I want to go through. First, we have PokeMiners here quickly, and he is saying that more sponsored gifts are now available in more places. He has seen a small and medium box that were updated in the game Master, both a one-time purchase limit. So let's see what that's going to turn out to be. We have snapshots not counting in the new version 0.189. So you can see it becoming glitchy. Dark screen here. I'm not sure on what devices this problem is occurring, but yeah, you won't be the only one if this is happening to you. Then we have an interesting Reddit post here by GoFriend Apps, and he's talking about 12km X, and it's a hatching survey in Japan. But it's a big survey actually, 1820 X already, so that's quite a big sample size. And we're gonna see what percentage Pokemon are coming out of these eggs. So we can see that Vullaby and Trubbish are the most common ones, with both around 20%, 1 in 5. So 2 out of 5 eggs should give you a Vullaby or Trubbish on average. Then the other 3 eggs should divide by Larvitar, Scraggy and Absol, mostly coming out of them. Then also Panyard is still at 10%, so still a good chance to get Panyard. Around 1 in 10 eggs would give you that. But then Sandile and Dino are going to be very rare, with only a 3% chance. So obviously that's very low and a bit unfortunate. They're keeping Dino a very rare Pokemon, obviously. It's interesting to note that out of the new Pokemon, they have decided to make Sandile a rare one, while Vullaby is a lot more common. But yeah, this is what's happening with the 12km eggs. So based on these statistics, you can decide whether to continue hatching these eggs or not. And I want to go through the rockets quickly, because we know about the new shadow Pokemon that were added, and the new leader shiny possible Pokemon, but I want to go through the entire lineups now. So here we can see leader Sierra, Arlo and Cliff, Drowsy, Growlithe and Omanite, but after that slot 2 and slot 3 seems to be pretty much exactly the same as they were on the previous round. We have still the decoy grunt. And Giovanni doesn't seem to have much changed as well, as Persian is still the first Pokemon, and then the second Pokemon is either Kangaskhan, Nidoking or Garchomp. Of course Mewtwo in the third slot. When it comes to the grunts then, we're going to go through all of the lineups. So we can see that for Bug now we have either Weedle, Venonat or Shuckle. Do remember that it is possible to get the second slot Pokemon as a encounter as well, but it's a lot more, it's a lot rarer compared to getting the first slot Pokemon as an encounter. I am not certain if all of the second slot Pokemon are possible as an encounter, because I feel that some Pokemon like Scizor are not able to be picked as an encounter, but don't quote me on that. We have flying types here, so Zubat and Golbat are still the most common Pokemon you will get from these flying types. However, if you're not interested in Zubat, don't just click these grunts away, because there's a chance that Skarmory will be coming from battle against my flying type Pokemon, and obviously Skarmory is interesting. For Psychic we still have Wobbuffet in the rotation. I think that's unfortunate, because personally I'm a bit done with Wobbuffet at the moment. It also doesn't have really any potential in the Go Battle League whatsoever. Maybe if there is going to be a big CP increase with a new level cap when that comes, but at the moment it's really not relevant. Slowpoke is the new addition to this Psychic Grunt, and Abra is still there as well. For the Ghost we have Shuppet, Sableye and Duskull, and I think that's quite an interesting Grunt, because the evolution of Shuppet is Banette, which has been used in the Go Battle League by Caleb Pang, and he was able with that Shadow Banette to get quite high up in the rankings. Then Dusclops has some potential, especially with Return, which is obviously the purified version of Dusclops, that moveset. I have seen Zionic run a Dusclops team. And of course we have Sableye, and Sableye is going to be very useful in the Go Battle League. With Return it is better, I would say. You prefer a Sableye with Return compared to a normal Sableye that doesn't have it. And then maybe you could even use it as a Shadow version. We have Don't Tangle With Us, the Grass line, which will either give you a Hoppip or Bulbasaur. It is interesting either way. Shadow Venusaur is going to be fantastic. You can use it in the Great League or the Ultra League. And Hoppip is going to be, the evolution of Hoppip is going to be very interesting to see how that's going to play out for the Great League too. So I would definitely not miss Tone Tangle with us. Get Ready to be Shocked will either give you Mareep, Magnemite or Electabuzz. Don't Bother I've already won will now give you either, well, it's going to give you an Aerodactyl encounter pretty much all of the time. There might be a slight chance to get a Snorlax from the second slot, but then first of all the lineup must give that Snorlax, which is probably going to be a 33% chance. And then after that you need to be lucky enough to get that second slot instead of the first one. So I think Snorlax is still possible, but it's going to be very rare. Aerodactyl is the most likely one to come from this grunt. Cold and Ready to Strike will still give you the Nidorans. Do you not know how what Pokemon Fire Breath can get? Will either give you a Vulpix or a Houndour. These waters are treacherous will either give you the new Shelder or the Psyduck. So I think the new Shelder, Cloyster might have some potential in the Go Battle League. Definitely going to be interesting to see if somebody's going to try that out. However, Mudkip has been taken out, which was definitely a better, more interesting Pokemon for the Waters Are Treacherous Grunt. So that's a bit unfortunate. They do not display Magikarp here. However, they do display it here, still for these Waters Are Treacherous, so that's a little bit fake. But it seems that Magikarp is still in the lineup as well for these Waters Are Treacherous. You will be defeated into the ground will either give you a Gligar or a Diglett encounter, Diglett being the new one. Unfortunately, Dugtrio is just too low in CP to be of any use at the moment. Gligar could have some potential with its shadow form. Roar, how did that sound? It still gives you a Dratini, not much has changed there. Let's Rock and Roll will either give you a Larvitar or Aerodactyl. This is another grunt that I would definitely not miss, just like the grass one, because both Larvitar and Aerodactyl are going to be very interesting. Although Aerodactyl is only interesting for the Flying Cup, honestly. I mean, after the Flying Cup, Aerodactyl probably doesn't have much play in the Great League. But for now, you could try and get a good Aerodactyl for the Flying Cup. You're going to be frozen in your tracks will either give you a Snover or Cloyster. Shadow Abomasnow is still a very strong Pokemon in the Ultra League, actually, but it's also good in the Great League. So I wouldn't miss this one either. Then we have Warriors Light is also Shadow, which still gives you a Stunky. Has been this way for quite a long time. I think Stunky has been in the rotation long enough now and very common, so I'm personally not too excited about that. Normal does not mean weak, Teddiursa. Okay, that's interesting. Definitely a big improvement over Rattata. Shadow Ursaring is going to hit like a truck, probably. This buff Psychic isn't just for show. We have Machop here or Hitmonlee. It seems like Hitmonchan is out of the rotation then. A little bit unfortunate. Shadow Hitmonchan definitely has good potential in the Great League. Hitmonlee does not. However, Machop is of course still one of Pokemon that you definitely want to get a good Shadow of, because Shadow Machamp is good in the Great League, Ultra League and the Master League. And yeah, that's everything that I wanted to share for today. So now we know about all of the new lineups for the grunts. And we're going to see when more information comes out in the future. I'm definitely interested to see how some of these Shadow Pokemon are going to play out in the Go Battle League. But for now, I will see you in the next episode.